Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. Amir Khan is a very hot topic right now. This last weekend, he had possibly the fight of the year against Marcus Maidana. Arguably, it's Khan's biggest win. So let's talk about a fight that's being discussed among boxing insiders. It's a possible matchup between Amir Khan and Zab Judah. Now remember, this is a second opinion. The opinion you should follow should be your own. I hope you join the discussion on my YouTube page, Dwyer 70905. We're a community of hardcore fans making points, predictions, and discussing results. Now let's talk boxing. Amir Khan's such a hot name that my mailbox on YouTube has been flooded with requests for my opinion on a possible matchup between him and Floyd Mayweather. The key question is whether I think that that would be a intense, great fight. Does Khan have a chance to beat Floyd? People know that I feel that Floyd is the world's best boxer, um, and that I feel Floyd would beat Manny Pacquiao. Now, all of that said, I feel that Amir Khan against Floyd is actually an excellent fight. I think it's very competitive. Understand that Floyd is a counterpuncher. In other words, he looks to see what you're doing. Then when you throw a punch, he comes in and counters it. He might counter it with one punch. He might counter it with a combination. But he's reactive. He's actually keying off what you do, right? It's very hard to counter a very fast combination puncher, right? Because the combination puncher comes in, especially an ambush type fighter like Amir Khan, who is across the ring, and then he just jumps in and throws a blistering combination, usually, three or more punches quickly. Might be to the head, might be to the body. You saw him knock down Marcus Maidana with a body shot. He comes in, throws a quick combination, then he gets out. So Amir Khan, let me look at my notes. Amir Khan doesn't really leave you a lot to counter, right? Not only that, Amir Khan can work behind a jab from distance, and that's crucial because, of course, Amir Khan would want to build up points in the fight, right? Fighters who don't throw jabs are at a disadvantage on the judges' scorecards, right? Because they're not piling up the points. They're inactive compared to the fighter who is throwing jabs. So someone like David Haye, for example, who doesn't throw a lot of jabs, he's able to succeed because David Haye is about knocking you out, right? He's winning fights because he's leaving you like he left Audley Harrison on the canvas more times than not, right? Think about the decisions David Haye has won. They're very few and far between, and they're against people like Nikolai Valuev, who are relatively inactive fighters and couldn't land their jabs on David Haye, right? In a fight between Floyd and Amir Khan, Khan would probably be the more active fighter from distance. So by shooting jabs, I believe Khan would probably bank a few rounds. And then, of course, the fight would get interesting, right? Because if a challenger is fighting a champion, and make no mistake, regardless of who has the belts, and I know Khan has a belt at 140 and Floyd technically doesn't have a belt right now, but regardless of who has the belts, I believe the boxing public knows that Floyd Mayweather is an unbeaten champion, right? We're talking pound for pound here. And in a fight between a champion and a challenger, where the challenger is the more active guy and he's the underdog, people will have a tendency to root for the challenger in a fight where he's simply outworking the champ. Also, let's talk length. Amir Khan, it's one of his best points. As good as Manny Pacquiao is, and Pacquiao is great. I concede Pacquiao's greatness, right? Pacquiao doesn't have Amir Khan's length, right? Khan is a tall man. And that height gives him the ability to actually develop length as a skill. Let me just say, in my opinion, talent is the capability to do something good. Skill is actually the ability to do it on demand when needed in the middle of a fight. And Amir Khan has been able to leverage his height, which other fighters, Floyd Mayweather at 5'8", Manny Pacquiao even shorter, don't have. He's been able to leverage his height to actually develop a style where he's outside the punching range of his opponent. He shoots a jab, he's far away. He knows how to fight tall, right? In that regard, he's like Vitaly Klitschko, for example, who always fights tall and uses every inch of his height against a shorter Philly shell type fighter like Floyd Mayweather, who really doesn't use height. That would be an advantage for Amir Khan. Let me just say, though, right, that I believe Floyd would also have an excellent chance in the fight because understand that Khan's length is actually a bit of an illusion, right? Because Amir Khan, it might shock people, doesn't have a longer reach than the shorter Floyd Mayweather, right? Floyd has an entire skill set that Amir Khan doesn't have, while Khan has foot speed and can come forward, right? He's excellent fighting forward. Don't confuse Amir Khan with Ray Leonard or James Toney. Amir Khan cannot fight, in my opinion, going backward. In other words, his foot speed is one way. So if you break the shell, if you break the envelope, if you collapse the pocket on Amir Khan, then his next move is the move he showed in the Maidana fight, where he's literally galloping around the ring, right? Just trying to use lateral movement to stay away from you. This is a far cry than, let's say, Ray Leonard against Marvin Hagler, where, Hagler comes forward, Ray Leonard goes backwards, and Ray Leonard's actually throwing combinations going backwards, right? I think Floyd realizes that Amir Khan has some weaknesses in his game. If Floyd's able to come forward and understand, there's no question that young Floyd Mayweather was able to be offensive on guys. He hasn't had to be in recent fights because he's fighting hyper-aggressive types like Ricky Hatton, for example, right? Shane Mosley. But if Floyd had to come forward on Amir Khan, if Floyd's able to get inside, Khan's envelope, if he's able to collapse the pocket on Khan, he's going to find Khan up against the ropes just like Marcos Maidana did. Khan, head movement wise, in my opinion, he's not gifted in that area, right? Up close, Khan isn't great at clinching. You saw Marcos Maidana had one hand free most of the time. Khan, in my opinion, was very lucky that he happened to be in a fight where the referee was Joe Cortez when they got inside. If Floyd's able to get inside and collapse the pocket on Khan, then Floyd is a guy who knows how to handle himself next to the ropes on the inside. That's a skill set that Floyd Mayweather has. He hasn't had to show it in years, but up close, if he's able to get through the length and the reach, I believe that Floyd inside would be able to do some damage on Amir Khan. Understand though that it would be out of character for Floyd to actually be the offensive fighter in a fight because Floyd is a defensively oriented boxing genius. He's rarely the offensive guy who actually goes around collapsing pockets like Marcos Maidana did on Amir Khan. So I actually think, I'm not going to predict a winner to that fight here, but I actually think that Floyd against Khan would be a highly entertaining dust-up. Now let's talk about Khan. Let me know what you think, by the way. Hopefully you'll do that on my channel page here on YouTube. Let's talk about Zab Judah against Khan. I actually like Khan big in that fight. The metrics I'm focusing on is the length I discussed and the foot speed. Understand, when I'm talking about foot speed, I'm not just talking about the ability to move your feet quickly. I'm actually talking about the ability to maintain your center of gravity so that after you've moved your feet to get to the other fighter, you're actually able to then be effective, right? In other words, it's not just enough to race across the ring. You have to be able to race across the ring and to do something good, right? Something to help your cause. I don't believe that Zab Judah has the foot speed to keep up with Amir Khan. Don't be fooled by the hand speed. I concede Zab Judah has blinding hand speed, right? Zab Judah also is a power puncher. People don't realize that Zab Judah hits at least as hard as Amir Khan. The problem I have is simply envisioning how Zab Judah is going to be able to deal with Khan's ambush style, Khan's ability to fight you from across the ring behind a jab where he throws big time combinations. Let me also say, too, that Zab Judah is 33. He's fought many fights at 147. He fought Cotto. He fought Mayweather. He fought Waldemir. He fought Corey Spinks at 147. Right? Amir Khan and Zab Judah are both now fighting at 140. Always pay attention to the weight. Now, I'm a skeptic of older fighters dropping weight classes, right? Recently in Australia, they had an excellent fighter, the man, Anthony Mundine, lose a fight. And if you look at Mundine's history, you're going to see that Mundine was fighting in a weight class that was below other weight classes Mundine fought in, right? I believe that that eventually catches up to a fighter. Look at, Chris Bird after he left heavyweight and dropped back down. Look at Roy Jones, who was the heavyweight champion of the world for a minute, dropped back down. That was the first sign of trouble. He then had a hard time in that first Antonio Tarver fight. Of course, we know what happened from there in the second Antonio Tarver fight. Many would argue that Roy has never recovered from the weight loss. Now here, Zab Judah, in my opinion, at 140 is a high wire act. He just fought Mathis. He faded in that fight. In the second half of that fight, on my scorecard, quite frankly, he lost that fight because of the second half of that fight. He even got knocked down in the second half of that fight. I understand that Judah has had success. I understand that the judges gave him the Mathis fight, for example. I know he beat Santa Cruz before that. But my point to you is Amir Khan is much younger than Zab Judah. Amir Khan came up from 135 to fight at 140. He looks strong, young, and vibrant to me at 140. I have questions about whether Zab Judah, particularly later in the fight, is going to be vibrant at 140. So for me, I'm ignoring the mainstream press's adulation of Zab Judah's southpaw stance, his hand speed, and I'm really just looking at the fact that lengthwise, and I understand Judah actually has a longer reach than Amir Khan, right? Khan's length is a bit of an illusion. It's really based off his height. But understand illusions actually work with judges. And Amir Khan's style is a style where he has the faster foot speed than Zab Judah. He'll be able to fight from distance. He'll be the more active fighter, pumping the jab. I think that Amir Khan beats Zab Judah. The straddle I would have in the fight would be Zab Judah by knockout. Don't sleep on Zab Judah's power, right? Zab Judah is a knockout puncher. He does have a puncher's chance of scoring a knockout in the fight. My recommended play, Amir Khan to win that fight, straddled against Zab Judah by knockout. Let me know what you think. Visit my YouTube page. Hope you join the discussion. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Look us up on Facebook. Thanks for watching.